does it feel like home? Because if it feels like home, then nothing else matters. What other people do, it doesn't matter, because you can only control yourself. But if you know that it's your home and that's a place that you can really put your roots down and grow, then you know it's for you.
It didn't even cross my mind that my dad played football at SMU. I know growing up, we'd always go to SMU football games, and we would always go to tailgates that were alumni or former football players. But in my head, I was just like, oh, fun, football game day. But then in high school, during the college search, I was like, wow, my mom went to this school. She did so much stuff. My dad went to SMU and played football. There's so much, history and legacy that my family has here. And that's when it really processed in high school during the college search that my dad was just more than, I guess, like a regular student here. You played football and was really good, I think.
And Tomlinson getting his second straight series. Porch, just about the same result. Warwick Woodard, 47, the defensive end there to join with Simonton. Woodard, like Simonton, kind of a pleasant surprise this year. Woodard has been there all the last 4 years. He's an outgoing senior from Houston.
My first visit to SMU was on a recruiting trip, and my first impression, I remember I came alone, flew into Dallas Love Field, and I got off the airplane, and to my surprise, there was a coach and about 4 cheerleaders waiting for me when I got off. So I'm like, wow, I'm like, maybe this is a big deal. And I came in, I remember visiting the offices and touring the campus. And then that night, we went to dinner at Papado's. And I was like, oh my goodness, the food is great. The school is great. And the second day, I remember we kind of did more of the academic activities and toured the campuses. And I got to see, what some of the degree opportunities were and the value of the SMU degree. And I remember going home that Sunday morning, flying back and thinking this is a great place to be.
I came to SMU because it was a place that seemed like opportunity and possibility was rolled into one. And I can remember my parents dropping me off, on the first day at Cottrell Hall with my big flat of Welch's grape juices and my, what were they called, Bugles, corn snacks, and telling me goodbye and just feeling so scared, but just thinking if I could just be brave enough to take this leap, that I could probably learn more than I could have ever imagined and maybe go on an adventure of a lifetime. And I did. I studied abroad in Spain, and that was the first time I had ventured out on my own into the kind of global world without my parents. And, the typical, I learned so much about history and other civilizations and, a homeland that wasn't my own. So it was an interesting look. But what it really helped me do was just kind of learn how to grab life by the horns and really enjoy the everyday things and in my life, every little detail of, going shopping, going to get food, and just all of those things. And I can remember just with me and some of my fellow students just often dancing into the very early mornings of the night until our legs were just so sore. And even though we knew we had school the next day, and then walking on the streets and buying the best sandwiches from the street vendor. And it really just taught me what a beautiful world the world is if you choose to see it. And also how much I really loved home, and I loved SMU. and how much the people that I had left back in the States, how much they loved me from all the letters that they sent and encouragement, you know, when I would get a little BBNness home. We met for the first time as we were walking down the street, down from Hughes Trigg, actually, down the street that leads to what used to be the Freshman Pie. And I remember walking and looking at him and thinking, I just saw the cutest, sweetest, kindest face that I had ever seen before, and really ever since. It was like magic. We just started just talking, and that's what SMU did to me. It really gave me the courage to be bold. And so these random people are walking down the street talking about anything and everything.
We were in Humphrey Lee eating lunch, and I saw her sitting by herself, and I said, oh, let me go sit down. I'll have lunch with her, and we'll just chit-chat. I wanted her to know that the following weekend that my dorm, Peyton, was going to have a party. And our RA had a budget and asked us what type of activities we want to do with the budget. And a couple of the, football players on the first floor said, I tell you what, give us the budget and we'll take care of the rest. And so we decided to have a party that we called the Peyton Pajama Jammy Jam. So at the time, there was like a House Party movie, and there was like a House Party 2, and the House Party 2 movie was the Pajama Jam. So I said, I want you to come. I'm inviting you to our party, the Peyton Pajama Jammy Jam. And that's when we officially, I think, met and continued that conversation and hadn't stopped since.
So SMU didn't just give us degrees, they gave us each other. And that Pajama Jammy Jam was everything you feared it would be.
And every time we bring it up, we keep adding jammies. It was like, it started off as the Peyton Pajama Jam, and then the Pajama Jammy Jam. But we had a DJ. I remember going to the football trainer, and asking if I could have a Gatorade cooler. And so we had our punches, our DJs, and we had the black lights. It was great.
Freshman year, before school even started, it was during the week of Stampede as well as Connect for students of color on campus. And we had this one event that I did not want to go to. I hadn't made any friends yet, and it was karaoke in HT. And I had an acquaintance who went to a high school in my school district back home. And I knew of her, but I didn't really care to be her friend. But then I was like, you know what? She's the only one I know here. I'm going to go to this event. And that night was just so much fun. It was so silly seeing everyone sing terribly in karaoke. And then just going and saying hi to my friend Jordan, who I knew from high school. Then she introduced me to some of her friends. And I just felt like I was already on campus forever. It was like I'd already had these friends that I'd known for so long. And then after karaoke, we were just having so much fun. We went to play pickleball with a bunch of other students. And all the people that I played pickleball with are still my best friends to this day. And so I'm just really glad that I didn't stay cooped up in my room that night, and that I went and just said, you know what, whatever. And that's definitely one of my favorite memories on campus, because it was one of those moments that was like, yeah, I belong here.
That dirty Trinity River sure have done me wrong. That dirty Trinity River sure have done me wrong. It came in my windows and doors. Now all my things are gone. When the river blues keeps me bothered all the time. When the river blues keeps me bothered all the time. I lose all my clothes, baby, if I'm going to lose my mind.